Welcome back to a fantastic little mindset nugget with Alex Olson. If you haven't listened to the full episode with Alex, where he's talking about, buyer representation systems, success systems, I got it all. That's great. Circle back to the episode that we released earlier this week. It's super informative, especially if you're trying to break into a new market. This will give you some strategies and at least some things to think about. And I guarantee after listening to this, you're going to want to just go invest in Kansas City. But right, exactly. But I invited Alex to share one mindset nugget that has really helped enhance his life. So Alex, welcome back, and let's go.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of different things that I try to do from a mindset standpoint, because as we all know, in the business world, entrepreneur, self-employed, whatever kind of world, even in a normal corporate job, where you get bogged down in the day-to-day. And so you talked about in our other episode where where you take a day. And I think I have to pause when I'm feeling, I don't want to say down, because it's not like I'm depressed necessarily, but when I'm like, man, I don't have anything going on today that's like wild and crazy. I feel weird, right? So you kind of feel a little bit funky. I've trained myself to pause, take a moment, and to think back about what got me to that point. And it's usually about success. So it's really kind of like when I feel down or bored, or man, there should be more crazy things going on right now, I take a moment. I don't look at my phone. I don't browse the web. I take a moment to reflect and say, what got me to this moment? Well, it's because I closed all these deals out, or maybe I had a busy month or a busy week, and so now it just feels like nothing crazy is going on. And think about how much fun all that other stuff was. And that really helps bring me out, comes out of my, I'll use the word depression just because my wife's a mental health therapist. So, she deals a lot with depression. So anyway, brings me out of that little depression, and I kind of think, and it gets me right back into it. It gets me right back going. So that's the first thing that I have to do quite a bit, actually. Another thing that really helps me out is having some kind of motivation for it. And, we all have motivations for different things. Maybe it's something small, like I want to buy a new watch or a new pair of shoes, whatever it is. And then I have, bigger motivations that's, it's private usually, that not a lot of people know about, but it's something that's substantial cost to it, either time cost or financial cost. And I put that mentally in my, background on my computer. Sometimes it's not actually there, but in my mind it is, to know that, hey, when I shut down my screen or do whatever, it's right there. And that's what I'm working for. And that could be, what I'm working for in my normal job, if I had a corporate job, or just even at home when I'm, busy at home doing whatever, right? So those things are always kind of motivating me and keeping me going. Let's say we had a huge month, right, with closing out deals. Well, that's great, but there's always another month and another year. So what's that big thing I'm looking for? And it's always, and that changes too, right? Like maybe I accomplished that goal, and I've bought that, or I've used it, I spent the time on that. So you always got to have, I do anyway, always have to have something in front of me that I'm always striving towards, and who knows what it's going to be next year. Maybe it's something even crazier, or maybe it's just, in the background is just, maybe it's just a month off where I don't do anything for a month. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's kind of my point, is to think about what you've got going on that you look forward to. And so that's the second thing. So the first thing was, hey, looking at your successes, at least briefly. Second thing is, hey, what can I look forward to?
I love the point of understanding and just saying, hey, I'm in this funk right now. And that's what I'm going to use for depression. Since you're like, I'm not really depressed. Like you do get into that funk that like like if anyone's raced or you accomplish anything, like I do a lot of physical activity. And so it's like you get to the end of, a mountain bike day and you're just like, you just decompress and you've had all this like crazy awesome fun and these experiences, but it does come to that little quiet spot. And sometimes it's like, oh wait, it's quiet, or it's feeling like this. What do I do with it? And it's like, no, receive it. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it yet, but I love Ryan Holiday. Have you read any of his, like The Obstacle is a Way?
I haven't. No,
Oh my gosh. Wow. There's another Thinking Day and The Obstacle is a Way. So I haven't read his other books, but he has, I think the other one in that trilogy is Stillness is the Solution. And so like learning about stillness. So
yeah, I'm going to have to pick up a copy of that for myself and my wife, because she's a big, mindfulness person, and she teaches that with a lot of her clients. And so anyway, that's exactly right, is accepting the now, in the moment, which I think a lot of us just don't do enough of.
It's hard, especially if the excitement comes, and such as excitement, those of us who do live in the clouds and we're always seeing something else, racing towards it. It's like, oh, wait, this is so dull and boring down here. Like, I want to go back to the clouds. It's like, you got to touch down and get refueled so you can be in the clouds longer next time.
Right.
I love it. Well, Alex, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and remind people the best way to connect up with you.
Yeah, so I love interacting with people on LinkedIn, so please connect with me on LinkedIn. We talked about this last time. My photo should be similar to what you see right here. Message me. Alex Olson is my name, and you'll see a picture of me, and we can get connected and talk about real estate or business or whatever you want to talk about, and just keep the chat rolling.
Definitely keep the chat rolling. Alex is awesome. And the level of integrity and discipline, determination, everything that your whole team at Clemons has is off the hook. So I highly recommend make sure you reach out and connect up and start your investment journey. Well, awesome audience. You are fantastic. Please make sure that you are subscribing and helping spread the word about this podcast and about all these amazing guests that I am able to have, because it allows me to be able to invite other guests that are awesome. They'll see that and they're like, oh, wow, we want to come on your podcast. Until next time.
Right. That's how I came here.
You're like, I have to go. I have to go to Julie's podcast.
Yeah.
It's such a great, I love this. Until next time, go find your freedom. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Ask Me How I Know. This episode was brought to you by 3 Keys Investments. They are dedicated to helping people like you, you, my awesome listeners, develop passive income and legacy wealth through multifamily investing. Feel free to check out their website, 3keysinvestments.com, to see if there's an offering that will help your portfolio grow and meet all of your needs. If you haven't already rated, reviewed, subscribed, liked, all of those bells and whistles, I would be absolutely honored if you would do that for Ask Me How I Know. Thanks again, and go make it a great day.